This is the end of October and the flowers are out, looking rather splendid. And I think this year I've never seen quite so many waratahs in the garden. Over this whole process I've really wanted to sort of just pick it apart and see what the flower's made of, because the head's so dense. I find it quite difficult to create a textile around such a spindly stick with just this intense red flower head. So all along I've wanted to sort of take it all apart and see how it's constructed, to see whether it's as dense inside as it looks on the outside. So I'm actually going to chop one down and do exactly that. And I have a lot of respect for the waratah. I still haven't conquered it. I don't think it's something that I want to conquer, but it's something that I'm intrigued by because it's so complicated. I feel like a surgeon, a flower surgeon. It's an autopsy, that's what it is. I'm looking for the pattern and the rhythm and the shapes to see if I can come up with more of an original take on a textile for the waratah without it looking too obvious, but keeping its essence. There's that one particular illustration, the botanical illustration, where you've got the flower head and the life cycle, really, isn't it? You've got the individual petal, and that's what got me into the idea of taking it all apart to see what's inside it. Because I wouldn't normally do this. This feels kind of a little bit bad behaviour, ruining a flower like this, but they did it, so I'm going to do it. Look at that. Amazing. It's so juicy. And I've noticed that there is quite a nice smell. It really reminds me of pomegranates. Okay. Yeah, it feels like a musical score or something. I feel like I want to actually recreate that as a drawing. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? You see that shape? That was me looking at the flower without knowing how the petal was really constructed. So that's this kind of, it's like a stylized impression. I did that at the library. Now I'm looking inside the flower. It's much more complex. As it gets smaller, this gets more intense, that purple colour. So I'm looking at that now thinking, that's nowhere near what I want to do. So I need to now sit down and do some more drawings around the real shapes of those. It's like that's what's hidden behind that dense flower head. But at the same time, I'm also going to be doing really simple stencils. So I'm looking for shapes that show the essence of the flower. The more you can get your hand or my hand involved in the translation of what I can see in front of me, the more unique the textile is going to be. And that's what I've always done. So here's some screens here. I call these my mini screens. And so what I do with these things is I'm trying to work out a repeat on textiles, or I'm working at the colour, whether I need to make it a larger scale or whether I need to reduce it even further. So this is kind of like a trial run for a textile. It's like the interim phase from an artwork to a textile. I'm a little bit obsessed with trying to get my authentic personality or my authentic voice or handwriting into my designs to make them as unique as I possibly can. Something that's a bit, I was going to say unrefined. I am a bit unrefined, sort of relaxed, I suppose. Definitely informal. You know, accommodating the mistake or accommodating the imperfect. You know, because that's what life's about, really. And the more you can accommodate imperfection, the more enjoyment you get out of life, I think.